What's up, guys? Yesterday, it was either yesterday or 2 days ago. I'm pretty sure it was yesterday. I saw the new movie Bugonia, starring Emma Stone, Jesse Plemons. Um, it has phenomenal reviews. 87% critic score, 84% audience score, or something like that. Like, the reviews are pretty fucking good. And man, I'm glad I got to see this in theaters because like it was something like, man, it was something I wasn't sure about, but I'm glad I've seen it. Like, I'm gonna tell you straight off the bat, this might be like, if this movie won Best Picture at the end of the year, I wouldn't be mad at it. Like, I think right now, I know people's lists are gonna be different, but I feel like the five front runners for Best Picture are easily Together, One Bad After Another, Bugonia, probably Sinners, and probably Weapons is gonna get on there too. I'm sure there's gonna be other movies that are gonna come out and be like, okay, that movie should be on Best Picture, that movie should be. I feel like those five movies have been pretty much stood out this entire year. Um, I'm probably the only person you're gonna see to put Together that high up. Like, I really like that movie. I really think there's a lot for people to watch and unpack about that movie, and I really feel like it's very relevant right now. But you know, I might be the only one champion in that movie around. But Bugonia, I think this is going to be the movie that gets Emma Stone her third Best Actress. When I don't see, like, I know there's some other contenders. I know Jennifer Lawrence has a movie out right now called Dime. I loved it. I don't know if I'm going to see that because, like, right now there's like three other movies that I gotta, like, I'm seeing Predator Badlands in a minute. Then you got another Now You See Me movies out, and then you got us, the dude that made Long Legs, he just released another movie. It's not getting the greatest reviews, but I want to see that too, just to form my own opinion on it. So there's a lot of movies out right now, and like, you can, like, now you can feel it. Like, I said in a couple of reviews ago, like a month or two ago, that it doesn't feel like, man, like, other than the big top dog movies, it doesn't feel like anyone's coming in and sneaking a big win, like the sneaking in the award season. And I feel like, I don't want to say Bugonia is not a top dog type of movie, because I feel like this is the movie when, like, people saw the cast, people saw the premise, they're gonna say, okay, Jesse Plemons is gonna get something out of this, Emma Stone's gonna get something out of this. The director, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but I know who he is. He's gonna get a nomination off of this. So I don't feel like this is one I can say is sneaking it in, even though it's not making a lot of money at the box office relative to what this budget is. I really feel like you can't say it's a top dog. Like, I mean, you can't say it's not. Like, you can't say it's like something sneaking in. Like, this is a movie that everyone knew was gonna get recognition and was gonna get awards praise. So me saying this isn't like saying, oh, this movie came out of nowhere. You know what I mean? And the thing that I like a lot about this movie is that, and this is why I really think Emma Stone might get another win, is because this whole movie, in my opinion, relies on how much she can make you believe that this fucking guy is crazier than you already think he is, and that he's not some crazy nut job that happened to be right this one time. And we come to find out this wasn't a one-time thing. And I think the way that they started to unpack and unpack and unpack, you know, how, like, insane Jesse Plemons' character was, and how he kind of just led his brother along, well, not his brother, his cousin along on this, like, crazy fucking plan. And something that I want to point out is, I think that was the first time his cousin was involved, like, on one of these plans. And another thing is, I don't think he chemically castrated himself either. I don't think he did that. I never seen the need to go inside him. I saw the need to go inside his cousin, but I don't think he chemically castrated himself. When it was revealed at the end of the movie, I know I'm already spoiling the fucking movie, but the movie's been out like 2 weeks. When it was revealed at the end that this was not the first person he's done this to, and this was not the first time he's been right, it's like, for me to believe, oh, this is the first time you've done this. This is the first time you're going to chemically castrate yourself. Like, come on, you didn't do it. And it just goes to show that, like, he's crazy when he wants to be, and that's what makes him, like, more. That's what makes him, like, even, like, crazier, because, like, you're not even like working on a code of, like, I'm doing this for humans, I'm doing this for people, I'm doing this, like, you're doing this because you're in grief, you're doing this because, you know what I mean, you're doing this because you're hurting. You know what I mean? And then, and another point, and another way you can look at that is, like, look at the fucking look at the officer talking about, like, trying to talk to him about what he did to as a child. Another thing where it's like, just because he didn't say it, I hear a lot of people have been laughing at that. We're laughing at that dude's scenes because he's a funny dude outside of acting. But the things he were talking about were very serious. He's talking about what he did to him as a kid, power dynamics. Like, use your context clues, guys. You know what I mean? And I'm saying that to say again, like I said in my last couple reviews, like I'm gonna keep on saying, if you don't, like what happened with the black phone, if you don't state it, a lot of people will ignore it. If you don't, like, we are at a time right now where if you don't fucking say it and show it and make it abundantly clear, people will brush over it. And like, no one's that stupid to be doing that all by accident. They're doing it on purpose. So you have to state it. And I hope filmmakers keep it subtle. And just, if people want to keep on being dickheads and not acknowledging it, just come out and say it like Scott Dickerson did. He just came out and said it on a press tour. Yeah, this dude was touching kids. Just come out and say it on the press tour. Don't fucking say it in the movie. Don't people can keep on being illiterate and keep on brushing it off. But as long as you're using your context clues, you can tell what's going on. People can brush it off all they want, but you as a director, you know what you're implying. Everyone else knows what you're implying, so they can brush it off all they want. And if it gets to a point where, like with the black phone, where they kept on brushing it off, come out and say it, but don't do it in the movie. Just say it on the press tour. And I'm sure people are gonna keep on brushing off, like this cop character in this movie. They're gonna brush off what he was doing to Jesse Plemons' character. So if you're a director, don't take people doing that as a sign that you need to start showing more and telling less. Just keep doing what you're doing. And if they're gonna keep being dickheads about it, just say it on the press tour. Say it on the press tour. You know what I mean? If people are gonna keep being dickheads and brushing shit off on purpose, let's say it on the press tour. So they'll have irrefutable evidence that you're going for what you're going for. And I say all that to say, Jesse Plemons' character had a clear example in his face trying to talk to him about what trauma had did to him. And instead of focusing on that conversation, right, and like really having a heart-to-heart about that guy, because that guy clearly traumatized him. He never fucking held eye contact with him longer than 2 to 3 seconds. He decided to go down a rabbit hole and start a conspiracy on top of conspiracies on top of conspiracies. Instead of like confronting something in his face that he can do something about, he just decided to go on conspiracy on conspiracy on conspiracy. You know what I mean? So I say all that to say that Jesse Plemons' character had a real life example of someone who had traumatized him, and instead of putting all that energy into that person that had traumatized him actively, he put all that energy into a conspiracy theory. You know what I mean? Even if he was right. And that's kind of the point. Like, and that's why I love the ending, because like, yeah, like him being right, even though he was right, that doesn't make anything he did. That's because he was. Let me say it like this: just because he was correct doesn't make anything he did right. Just because he was correct doesn't make anything he did right. It doesn't make the way he would brush off that dude trying to have a heart-to-heart about what the fuck he did to him right. It doesn't make him putting all his energy into conspiracy theories right. It doesn't make him dragging his cousin, who's clearly not mental. I'm not even going to say mentally. He just doesn't have the stomach to do what he needs him to do in the situation. It has nothing to really do with his mental capacity. But you got to bring into play his mental capacity when you saw the way he went out. He did not do a good job by his cousin. He did not do a good job by himself by putting so much energy into a conspiracy theory. And so many people do that. And I think, like, that's why I think Bugonia is like, man, like if this wasn't Best Picture in the year 2025, I have a hard time. Like, I feel like this movie says more about the state of like everything in the world right now, the hyper individualism, this everything, than more than one battle after another. Like, I feel like this says more about the state of where we are on a human, intimate level than one battle after another. And maybe some people disagree with me on that, but like, if I had to pick a movie right now to win Best Picture, I'd pick Bugonia easily. So yeah, Bugonia, I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10. No movie's perfect, so I feel like that's a good little score for it, you know. I feel like it's like this is definitely going to be something that we look at as a classic, you know. And it does take a little bit to get going. Like it's a 2 hour movie, but that first like 20 minutes where they're like laying the groundwork. It's like I feel I feel like I'm on the same boat where a lot of people were like I wasn't liking it in the beginning, but then I started to like it, and then I started to love it. You know what I mean? So that's why I give it an 8.5 out of 10. So yeah, Bugonia, 8.5 out of 10. Peace.